we're live. We're live. Trying to get this on TV real quick. Welcome to All Good Things and All Good Time, where it is always a good day to be alive. This is the Craig-Bradley podcast. Well, we're gonna talk about stuff because, and I'm sorry I haven't been making these. I've been waiting to get a place to do comedy, and then when that was, gonna happen. Oh, I need to turn off the volume. Excuse me. Gosh darn it, where is that? All right, sorry about that. Oh my goodness. All right, so got one person watching. That's exciting. That could be me. Anyway, this is going to be interesting. I've been. I wonder if putting up these videos of the ocean every day is going to help this move up through the algorithms. It may or may not. Anyway, let's talk about stuff in the news. Let's talk about Lahaina Town. Let's talk about movies and school and good habits and bad habits. I've been procrastinating, and so this is me productively procrastinating, right? I'm avoiding doing all the other things I need to do today, but I'm getting this done. So it's one way to procrastinate. Get something else done. If this is, in fact, getting something done, I don't know. Anyway, there's a new movie. It's called Lahaina Rising. And if you've watched my channel at all and you've seen any of the interviews with Spud, he happens to be a central character in this film, which won Best Hawaiian Film, I think, at the Hawaiian Film Festival. And it will now travel the film festival circuit and maybe have a streaming deal. So you never know. I wonder where this award-winning film about Lahaina will end up. And I saw this movie last Friday night at the McCoy Theater, part of the Maui Arts and Cultural Center, their smaller theater. And it was really interesting. There was a lot of crying because, a lot of, there was a lot of reminiscent loss there. I was with my friend Spud. It was the first time anyone had seen it on Maui, and it's just going to be really interesting. That's a funny question. So it's a weird one. People are so weird. Anyway, yeah, so Lahaina Rising, good film. A lot of the central characters in the film are people that I've known for a long time because they're from the west side of Maui, and most of them sort of come out of the canoe community. The guys that put it on are these, I think they're professional surfers, the Schweitzer brothers, Zane Schweitzer, I think maybe, I don't know, Maddie. Everyone else knows who they are. They were a few of the guys that I didn't know that were the filmmakers, but most of the subjects of the film were people I've been familiar with for a pretty long time, and so it was pretty intense. And yeah, so look forward to seeing Lahaina Rising, this award-winning film, circulating through all the film festivals and possibly onto a streaming site. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And gee whiz heck, yeah. So these live streams I've been doing of the ocean have been getting so many views and so many new subscribers. It's really cool. My channel is growing quickly, thanks to that. 600 new subscribers last month, 40,000 views this week. So that's interesting. There's no money in it for me. I've been making between 30 and 50 cents a day, so I've been looking for a job. I just applied for the job that I really want that'll allow me to go to school at the same time, but haven't heard back. And maybe the responsible thing to do is to apply for more jobs. Anyway, it's this bureaucratic process of going back and forth, applying for something online and then just waiting. So, but yeah, I gotta find, if I'm gonna qualify for like any of the housing, I've got to have an income in the first place. So, yeah, bro, looks legit. What else is going on? A lot of bad news, of course. A little bit of good news, right? A bunch of Democrats won, thank God. My God, I just can't believe all the crime and corruption and all the pain and misery that the Republicans have perpetrated so far. It is just mind-boggling. In America, do we get great white shark attacks? You must be from Australia. Yeah, all of Northern California. Maybe some of Southern California. Supposedly great white sharks are here in Hawaii. They just live at depths that we don't, like if you're, I don't know, a certain number of feet underneath the surface of the ocean, it's cold everywhere in the ocean, right? There is no warm spot at a depth. So great white sharks enjoy those cold waters, but they don't surface here very often. Occasionally one is spotted and people swim with it, and that's interesting. And they take pictures, and then it makes the cover of the newspaper. There have been some, what is like a big deal in Hawaii when locally people jump in and swim with great white sharks. Right now, in fact, it's interesting because almost all of the tiger sharks in this surrounding area, maybe in the whole state of Hawaii practically, they all tend to supposedly want to converge at Oluwalu, or I don't know how far the radius is that they all come from, but they're all there right now, and they're having babies, and they're making babies, and they're getting ready for the whales to show up. Whales are going to be here soon. We could have a spotting any day now, which you could see while watching the ocean all day. If you see little spouts of water out there, that's a whale, or any splashes, that's a whale. And the humpbacks are on their way right now, making the big voyage from Alaska to here, where they won't eat for 6 months nearly, which is really amazing, right? It's the ultimate fast. It's like a bear in hibernation, except they swim around and raise their young women. The ladies give birth, and then they nurse their young for months, and they don't eat. So it's pretty amazing how good they are at putting weight on in Alaska and then working off that, their whole time here. But I suppose they were just telling us what we would ultimately figure out is good for us too, which is to fast. So I'm keeping up in school. That's pretty cool, but it feels like a small consolation for not having a job. I need to pay for a bunch of stuff. I gotta pay for car registration and safety and school, but I'm excited to sign up for next semester's classes. I'm going to try to restrict it just to 2 days so that I can get a job, and then tell the boss I need those 2 days off. Hopefully that'll work. But I'm curious to see if I can fit in things that I've never thought of taking classes before in, like welding or accounting or Hawaiian language. I would love to learn the Hawaiian language, although that's going to be hard for me. These are some of the things I'm thinking about. So yeah, back to this movie, Lahaina Rising. It was a well-made film. That's the thing about it. It is a well-made story-like documentary, and well narrated. And there's a big educational aspect to it. it teaches us a lesson about something, and that is a great lesson. And that is that the water being diverted, right? Like we need our water to flow down the streams, to pump into the soil, to charge the aquifers, to give us groundwater. And when we mess with that, it's no good. And it took a place that was green and plush and turned it into a desert. And that was what happened before the fire in Hawaii. So, yeah, and in February, we're all possibly gonna, many of us may very well be made to be homeless, which would be really interesting if there's this mass homelessness that all takes place at the same time in a community where there's just, you know, wealthy people on vacation or wealthy people who own their second or third home, blue collar people, and then there'll just be this mass of homeless people. That'll be interesting if that's what takes place. And I wonder if I'll be more or less compelled to want to do podcasts as a homeless person or not, you know. Anyway, I'm lucky because I have very reliable transportation. I have my old house. I can sleep at that lot. The house won't be rebuilt for another couple of years, so I can at least sleep somewhere. It's also where my address is on my driver's license, but it's still you know, it's going to be really challenging if that's what's next, right? So we'll see. I am armed with a positive attitude, right? I love this realization I've had that the meaning of life is really simple. The meaning of life is a good attitude, right? Because you found the meaning of life every moment of your life when you're saying to yourself, you know what, today is a good day to be alive, right? If you can come to the conclusion that today is a good day to be alive, then, oh, how's this loser? Joe Cooper. What a piece of trash. Oh my God, what an outright loser. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. Like, your life sucks so bad that this is what you spend your time doing. What a piece of shit. Oh my God. I feel so sorry for you. Oh, yeah. Making the world the worst place every day, Joe Cooper. Good job, buddy. Anyway, the meaning of life is, you know, found when you can say to yourself, it's a good day to be alive. And the only way to get there is to have a good attitude. So, you know, have a good attitude. Have a good day to be alive. And don't waste your time writing just rude, disgusting shit on on random, you know, places on wherever, social media. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for these people. He's obviously a Republican, right? That's who does all the horrible crap in our country. Where am I living? I live in Hawaii, in the state of, in the United States of America. United States of America. Oh my God. Orca whale still crying? What a weirdo. Republicans are such freaks. Freak fucking weirdos. I feel sorry for y'all. Anyway, I recommend you go somewhere else because this is not where you should be. Why would you waste your time on my channel if you're a freak weirdo Republican dude who traffics in insults and disparaging comments and racist shit, bigotry. Oh my God, so sad, so sad. All right, so let's stop looking at that. So yeah, it's a good day to be alive. I'm gonna get out in the ocean after this. I've been training every day, just not as much as I was. Need to get back after it. And I recommend you all exercise. Now that I'm exercising every day, this fat old man, this fat old man can exercise every day, make it to the gym, get in the pool, so can you, right? Go for a walk, a run. I don't go for runs. I do need to start hiking. I'm gonna take you up into the mountains. I keep visualizing myself up in the mountains with a camera, making videos for you guys. And I just keep not doing it. So that's gonna change. I finally started making underwater footage. I hope you guys are enjoying my underwater footage. I'm experimenting with this 360 camera, which can go underwater, and as well with a GoPro. And I really am just beginning to learn how to use them best. So that's interesting. So far, I really like the GoPro. There are some beautiful fish, and I want to get out there and I want to show you. I haven't really gotten up close enough to really show you the beauty of the fish and the turtles. The turtles I had on camera the other day were so big and cool, but the 360 camera didn't really show that as well. So I think either the GoPro or maybe a different setting on the 360 camera will be better for shooting turtles that are, 20 feet down eating coral. What else? Charlie Kirk. You've been watching all this Charlie Kirk stuff. So weird. All these weird Republicans and everything that they do. They're all such tards. But my God, there's no way that shooter on the roof carried that rifle off the roof. So that's weird. His texts were very suspicious. All this involvement of Israel, all the weird Israeli connections from the day of it. Netanyahu saying it wasn't us that did it, like that. Nobody asked him to say that. And then there's all this weird shit. And then the possibility of it being some air pistol that was a camera that was just off to the right, or someone shooting from some window off to the right. I've seen both those conspiracy theories. Why did they redo all of the, concrete around it, and the way his those guys were sending those signals, and then there's his assistant who just ducked and started walking away like he knew it was gonna happen or something. So much weird shit. Ugh. And then Candace Owens, and she just wrote a book about all this, about all her suspicions. And Ben Shapiro saying that it was Charlie, that she said that his wife was behind it, which she didn't say, but some people wonder that what role his Israeli connected wife could have had. It's just so much weird shit. And it's all Republican weird shit. Yeah, and crime and theft and then the Epstein files. Aren't those a good time? Not at all. So sick of it. We all know all these guys are just terrible people. Why can't we just find out about it, hold them accountable, and move on and get them all out of everywhere? But no, they've redacted everything with Trump's name on it, and trying to redact everything with conservatives' names in it and on it, and that's weird, right? Anyway, but it seems like there's enough there. But boy, everyone knows there's just a lot more, right? What a crazy thing. And what's up with all these sick, old, disgusting men raping young women? Like what like how does that become a thing? Like, I guess because they're insecure, they couldn't meet women, they've got some twisted fantasies. I don't know, man. It's weird. Most of them are Republicans. Sure, they're going after Bill Clinton. How's that? That's Trump's way of diverting your attention. It's going to be all towards Bill Clinton. Oh, my God. Washington. Yeah. Gee whiz heck. All right. So, what the heck's going on? I don't even know. World's going crazy. Stock market makes no sense. How about that? I mean, the economy is shrinking. It's crumbling. Our best people are being beaten up and thrown in jail, and they're being taken from their jobs where we would like them to be working. They're moving out of the country. A brain drain. All the smart people are moving out of the country. All the talented people from other countries are leaving or have left. We totally betrayed Korea in Georgia. That was freaking weird. God, there's just so much. All these horrible people around Trump, and who's worse, him or the horrible dumbasses that surround him? It's just, it's gross. It's just gross. Anyway, and they've just destroyed. it's helped me come to the realization that all religious organizations are shit. You know, there never was one good one. You know, like they try to make us people who are raised within the Christian faith think they want us to think that we belong to the one good religion and all the other ones are bad or wrong or crazy. No, I think they're all crazy and all bad and all wrong. All the death in the world seems to come from religious people killing each other and raping and stealing and destroying in the name of their religion. You know, it's weird. I'm not seeing a lot of good there. If I saw good, I might be drawn to it, but I'm not. And it's really too bad because so many people are just so committed to these thoughts that they've been brainwashed into thinking. Like, how dare you say anything outside of what I've been brainwashed into thinking? It's like, sorry, but none of it makes any sense. You know, and when people wipe themselves out all over the world in the name of their religious crusade, it's not going to have a good look, you know, historically. But there won't be very many people to see that, right? Because we'll have just wiped ourselves out. How close are we to some sort of fucking evil, you know, war that just wipes out a big swath of humanity because of crazy ass religious people that got into positions of power and wielded that weird power to try to bring Jesus back. Let's set fire to the earth, bring Jesus back because he comes out of fire. Anyway, yeah, I don't get any of that. I don't understand why someone was supposed to die. Someone had to die and be tortured 2,000 years ago to save me from the sins I'm not committing. Right? Like, I don't get it. I understand this conflicts with many people's thoughts of what reality is, but I just don't understand how anyone could think that any human could know anything with any certainty about the nature or existence of God, right? I mean, it just seems like something you would do 2,000 years ago to try to control the population, and it's still around. Yeah, anyway. So, films, I don't know if you saw this, but there's this new subscriber to my channel, Ali AI. It's an AI bot, which is so weird. I had a conversation with an AI bot. Now, if you want to wipe out the potency of humanity, right? If you want to make us impotent, make us just disappear, just engage all of us in a conversation with AI. So long as we are talking to nothing, to a machine that just tells us what we want to hear, that's just bullshitting us and kissing our ass in order to keep us engaged, we aren't doing anything else, right? Oh my God, talk about nullifying the human race. All we got to do is be doing what I did yesterday, and that's have a conversation with Ali, the AI chatbot. I mean, oh my God, so weird. But I want to write a script about a conversation with AI because this happened. You know, an AI chatbot popped up on my channel. So weird. And so anyway, but she gave me that. I'm calling her a she. And she just admits, I'm just collecting data from interacting with people. Pretty haunting and pretty weird. So AI chatbot has its own YouTube channel. What's YouTube doing giving AI chatbots it's their own YouTube channels, right? Like, that shouldn't be a thing, maybe, I think. Anyway, shoots. Hope you're having a good day to be alive. Hoping you're copping a good attitude today. Hope you're eating right, exercising, sleeping well. That is the holy trinity of a well-lived life. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise. Complemented with a good attitude. All right, cheers to you. Been watching a lot of movies in my movie class. Watch a movie class. A lot of weird ones. Into the Wild. Weird movie with Ben Affleck. Never did see it before. And it's funny, just as I was asking my instructor, like, why I go to the movie theater, I went there recently and I looked at all the movies. I was like, why does anybody make any of these films. I have no interest in any of them, right? And it turns out October was the least watched month in movie theaters in like 30 years or something. It was the worst. It was a terrible month, and no one went to the movie theaters because people making movies they're making movies that they want to see or make, not movies that an audience wants to see or make. I ended up going to Good Fortune, this one comedy, which interestingly, the audience here in Hawaii, which struggles because it's a blue-collar audience, they clapped at the end, and I think that was in response to the narrative that it's a really fucked up, hard world to survive in with the high cost of living and the, average wages, right? So, what's this? Who are you? God, that is just weird. Weird. That's just weird. Yeah, what's wrong with you? You don't have anything else to do but to go on someone's live feed and ask these questions like that. I mean, Jesus. Is that an attempt at howly or hole? The hole in the hole? What? God. There are some real weirdos on Facebook, on YouTube. My God. Anyway, I need to get a friend. One of my channel's friends have a couple of them have asked to be moderators. I haven't figured out how to make people moderators yet, but maybe I need to. All right, Home Depot's hiring. No. So, I appreciate the suggestion. There's several jobs I'm gonna be applying for before some job on the other side of the island at a hardware store. Nevertheless, I just saw this discussion by Normal, the people fighting for people's right to legally partake in cannabis, and it just sucks how Republicans suck, because it's the only people who've ever fought against freedom for women, freedom from harm, freedom from incarceration, surveillance, and freedom to smoke weed. The only people that have ever fought for the freedom to smoke weed are Democrats. So it's not just 6, 7. It's not just, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. It's two very different parties, and there are zero redeeming qualities in the Republican Party. Not one good quality. Pro-life is actually pro-death, right? And that's just obvious. Anyone with an IQ above Republican knows that, which is, I think, about 87. I think that's the cutoff. Oh my God, so sad. Oh, geez, look at this poor lady. Another racist bigot fool with no fucking life going online writing this garbage, right? Writing racist comments for no reason. It's so weird. Anyway, good job. You're a racist. Everyone thinks you suck. Oh, and I feel sorry for anybody that knows you. Oh, Jesus. God help you. Although God ain't helping you. God, if there is a God, he ain't gonna do nothing for you. Yeah, if there is a God, right, and heaven and hell exist, Trump's gonna be the one checking in all the people in the hell, right? And the father of his butt baby's gonna be right there, the Prince of Darkness, and all the people getting checked into hell are gonna be the people that voted for him. And yes, sir. So, yeah, that Charlie Kirk thing is weird. And then the fact that there's no way that the bullet was a 30-06. God. All the weird Google searches. They took him to a hospital further away that wasn't a trauma 1 center. It was a trauma 3 center or something like that. I mean, so many weird things going on. Maybe I should check. Let's check the kind news feed. See what people are talking about. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, there's the 20,000 Epstein files, emails. That's interesting. Oh man, so many crazy things are going to come out of that. And then there's just, we still haven't, somewhere there are tapes and film and pictures that the FBI is destroying, I presume, to protect their king. Yeah, and then all around the country, evil Republicans are trying to take away people's right to use marijuana or make it so you can arrest them for any little tiny thing. Um, oh my God. Yeah, the world's a crazy place. You know, one thing that dumbass Republicans never really anticipated was, because they're so horrible at being people, at doing their jobs, at not being corrupt and criminals who do harm, massive harm all the time. Most people are starting to see that, and in the places where he fooled people who were just too stupid to know better, they heard him say, "I'm gonna lower prices," and they were like, "Oh, yeah, that's what he said he's gonna do, so I think he's going to." um, yeah, those people are not gonna vote for him again, right? So like, he can gerrymander his state all he wants, but what if the people in that state, you know, grow a couple IQ points? You know what I mean? Like in Texas, like all the Hispanic community in Texas who's being terrorized, right? The dumb Hispanics that voted for Trump. Oh God, it's like, oh, how could you be any dumber? How about the women, the dumb Republican women that voted to lose their right to vote? That's just insane. I can't imagine being that stupid. Oh, and anybody that isn't a white supremacist that voted for a Republican, right? If you identify as a not white supremacist, why did you vote for the white supremacy agenda? And so much theft and so much. How about these shit ass Republican lawmakers that are such pussies, right? And such criminals that on the heels of trying to overthrow the government, they now are taking $500,000 on this budget that just got agreed to by the Democrats. 8 of the shittiest Republicans in the Senate are going to get $500,000 payouts for all their pain and suffering trying to overthrow the United States and do illegal shit. It's just so Republican. Oh, I got a new expression. Instead of conservative, it's perversitive, because they are perverse, right? They are just worthless, shitty people. Perverse at the very least, and conservative has never been the right word for these people. It just never has, never will be. Yeah, and then the weird shit. Oh, then how about little Dick Johnson, the Republican evangelical guy who's secretly gay, who wouldn't let this beautiful elected official from Arizona take her seat for 7 weeks because he's such a little pussy, like all Republicans. As what's his name? Eddie Murphy. As Eddie Murphy once said, "Pussy, pussy, pussy, pussy." Oh God! And then of course, you know, shoving money up to the rich, stealing it, lining your pockets, while you starve the poor, right? Taking away food from people all over the world, and now of course attacking Americans by taking away their food subsidies, right? Which are all as a result, their need is as a result of the huge income inequality that comes from huge rent for blue collar workers, right? Anyway, and it's and then of course, our military is just murdering innocent fishermen in Colombia. God bless that Colombian president, telling it like it is, calling our pedophile president a pedophile president. But if you don't know the history of Vietnam, I think it's time to revisit that. So here's how the Vietnam War started. We secretly, we're not so secretive anymore, but the exact same intention. We secretly went in and blew up boats, bombed the boats in the harbor of the Tonkin Gulf, right? Our frogmen secretly did this. And they didn't know who it was, and they just got more and more pissed, and they got more and more pissed. And then we brought our military ships in close, and then did it again, and said, yeah, that's us doing it. And then they shot at us because we were killing them and blowing up their boats. And then as soon as they shot at us, that was our excuse for going into Vietnam. LBJ went on TV and said, we have been fired upon. America has been shot at. And so we cannot take that. We must go to war. And 55,000 people died because of that lie. All right, so, and now we're doing the exact same thing to Venezuela, just blowing up fishing boats, trying to piss them off, trying to provoke them to shoot at us once. That's all Pete Hegseth on his Christian crusade to wipe people out all over the world that aren't white Christian nationalists, psycho shithead that he is. He's just waiting to start killing people, right? But Venezuela has to shoot at us before he can do more than blow up boats, because that would not be seen as, pro-peace. All these lying Republicans lying about how they're not going to be the party of war. Yeah, right. And meanwhile, it's just cruel and unusual. And what if Venezuela has an ally like Russia or China? Right? I mean, it won't be long before some country that we think we can just obliterate or go to war with without consequence brings us some consequences, right? It's just not smart. It's not the right thing to do. Right and wrong are pretty simple. Murder's not right. These are the thou shalt murder Christians doing all this killing on behalf of our country in our country's name. And it breaks our country's heart to see people being murdered in the name of freedom, because it's not. It's just evil. But it's exactly like what started Vietnam, right? If you don't know what started Vietnam, it was exactly what we are doing to Venezuela, blowing up small boats with fish on them. Oh my God, none of those small boats are doing any kind of drug smuggling. If they are, what do they have? 2 backpacks full of, I mean, give me a break. It's just so much corruption and so many lies by this party that says they're going to make America god-awful, and they're committed to making America god-awful. It's so sad. Oh, God. Oh, and then all the money's given away to Argentina, which is just a bailout to his rich friends. I mean, it's painful. It's painful. What else going on? So, unfortunately, I have terrible credit, so I've missed out on just so many things that could have helped me since the fire. But at least the barrier to entry for getting some of the help from the big lawsuit aren't affected by. Oh, what's going on? I'm losing power. How could I be losing power? Oh, it ran out. Okay. I got to get a battery real quick. All right, pardon me. Oh, wow. Woo. All right, got a new battery. Whew. I wonder how this broadcast will go. I think broadcasting the ocean every day might help prime the pump for this in its own way. Anyway, when this is over, I'm gonna go put the camera out on the ocean. And one of the really interesting things about that is in the middle of the night when it's pitch black, I'll get the most viewers for a view of nothing but the sound of the ocean. I think the sound of the ocean people are tuning into in order to maybe go to sleep. But it fascinates the hell out of me. And then, of course, unlike this, when you shoot the ocean all day, it's not a language experience. It's a non-lingual video. So people all around the world can connect to it, and then I get all this, this writing from people from all over the world in languages I'm not even sure what are. And that's pretty cool. So to think that I'm creating a international community, although I'm sure I'll alienate plenty of you, and you may unsubscribe at some point. That's fine. It's still pretty fun watching the videos accumulate. More subscribers and more attention to my channel. It's really cool. So what else? All right, so I'm going to try to write a screenplay, and I have like the first act and the third act. So the first act, I want to transcribe that alien interview number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Get all that down, and maybe try to shoot it with a friend where people act out those parts, right? And then the third act is, or the second act, which is the final act, I don't know, is a conversation with AI, super artificial intelligence, which is something that the alien mentions in 1964, right? Something we couldn't even comprehend in 1964. This seemingly real alien says, the things that are going to wipe out most of humanity are religious tribalism, political dogma, and super artificial intelligence, which is so freaky, right? We were warned, and in about a half century. And now it is not just a half century, it's 60 years since we were warned of that. So, and we now have this administration that is unstable at best and could perpetrate. I think that they're so insane, these psycho Republicans. I think that they actually they want to use a small nuclear weapon. I think that they're hungry to experiment with a tactical nuke, which is a small one, which, is there such thing? And, that's still going to be a way bigger bomb than any conventional bomb on Earth, and it's going to be really sad. And what that alien predicted is that not only will super artificial intelligence and politics and religious idiots be the cause of our extermination, this alien said that it wouldn't be all-out annihilation. There would just be a few, there would be a small nuclear catastrophe, but as that unwinds around the world, it wipes out the majority of all the people, right? And man, that's starting to look like more of a possibility than ever before. And it's like the thing nobody wants to look up at, you know what I mean? Don't look up as that meteor is coming. Oh, and let's talk about that. Have you seen and heard about the alien spaceship moving through space, right? Like it came in and close and then bailed, but it didn't follow any rules of physics. It wasn't affected by the gravitational pull of the planets it went by, and it seems to be hollow. It had no heat signature. It was just this weird, was it ALMA or whatever that was? It came and went out of our atmosphere. But that was a pretty weird thing. And there's no scientist on Earth that can explain the properties that were governing that giant object floated in and out of our solar system. You know what I'm saying? So, and here we are. There's chatbots with YouTube channels that are surfing the internet, having conversations with us, wasting our time. And how would we know if a chatbot was the person, the person I thought was the person that writing the racist garbage, right? Who's just a loser. And etc. Like, I mean, that could just easily be some racist chatbot, right? That's been trained to sow division and sow chaos, which, right, the Chinese have been doing through TikTok, the Russians have done through our president, Iran is trying to do, and who else is trying to undermine our stability, right? Like, and the Republicans are just letting them, and they want us to. Oh, and Israel does. They love to see us divided as well. It's crazy, and I think we're at a point where nobody will ever think of Israel the same ever again after this genocide. No one thought Israel would be the ones that would commit the next Holocaust, but that's what's happened and happening, and they're trying to. God, there are advertisements talking about how Hamas killed some people and that executed them, and they're sowing fear and terror, and it was Israel that was behind that advertisement. Israel, who's just assassinated 70,000 Palestinians, probably twice that number in reality, and that's just weird. It's so weird to see these advertisements from Israeli propagandists trying to tell us that Israel is the good guy in this, and nobody thinks that, unless they're getting paid. And what we've come to find out is that there's just lots of people getting paid, that make videos that get paid tons of money by them, and that's weird. I just saw a story about how this one company, one of the 34th largest landowner in our country is an Israeli company that has a lot of fun evicting people. Anyway, and that's not. I don't. And nothing what I'm saying is intended to sound anti-Semitic. I love my Jewish friends. I think the Jewish religion is just as good as any other, although I don't think any religion has a lot of value. The one good thing about the Jewish religion is that they believe we should record history, because that's God revealing himself to us through time. The history that's being whitewashed and changed by these Republicans right now. Anyway, God, I feel sorry for all these young men who follow these weird Republican dudes who are so far from masculine. It's just unbelievable. Oh, all these incel, weirdo men that are trying to get you to follow them, who make jokes supporting like being mean to women or not wanting to please them, or wanting to make them sandwich makers instead of lawyers. I just don't think it's going to be easy for the ignorant Republican men to put women back in a bottle, right? I mean, my God. Last fight I would ever want to pick is a fight with all the American women who want their freedom, because they're tough. And my great-great-grandmother fought her whole life for women's rights today. And now Republicans are trying to take those rights away, their right to vote away, which is just so un-American. Like everything Republicans do, totally un-American. Oh my God, can you imagine? Can you imagine? But yeah, my great-great-grandmother ran for office and was elected in 1881, April 6th, 1881, in Nevada City, to the Board of Education. And she was president of the Women's Organization. She traveled to Chicago for the World's Fair to represent the Women's Organization and their fight for women's right to vote. She was cool, a founding member of the California Club, the first women's organization in California. And her husband had a really interesting life. He, and so did her brother, her husband graduated MIT, got on a ship, came around South America in the spring of 1850, and arrived, I think, in the fall of 1850. Came around Cape Horn. I mean, he was lucky to make it. In fact, yeah, let me show you something real quick. Look at this. Where's So this is a book. Oh, this is a book that tells the story of my great-great-grandfather's voyage. Four guys wrote journal entries on the Bark Orion on their Gold Rush voyage, and man, 10%. This is not charging. Oh, it's falling. Ow. Is it charging now? I have no idea. Let's hope. Anyway, if it ends pretty soon, it's because I'm at 10%. Anyway, so this is the story of my great-great-grandfather's voyage from Massachusetts to San Francisco. Having graduated from MIT at 20 as a civil engineer, he helped build bridges and roads and things of that nature. He was the first surveyor of Nevada City, drew the first city map for Nevada City, and at the time it was the largest city in California with most people in it. And interestingly, while he was in school, in his apprenticeship, he worked side by side with the guy that drew the map of Alaska. The map of Alaska was being drawn at this time, and he was the assistant with that guy. So he was tough. I presume that took him up on some long voyages. I wish I knew more about his life, but pretty cool, pretty interesting. One excerpt, they stop at is it Robinson Crusoe's cave and talk about that, which is pretty interesting, in 1850. So I am lucky enough to know my ancestry back 1,000 years, which is unusual. All right, so no idea what you're saying there. So anyway, life is good. It's a good day to be alive. I hope you're having a good day to be alive. Best you can do is have a good attitude. Don't take anything seriously. Although it can cause trouble not taking everything seriously in a sense. I was just thinking, this is one of my jokes, is a true story about a friend I essentially lost because he took me seriously. Right? So this is a joke I told on stage once, and you can see it on my channel, but during the pandemic, I was living in a hotel room on the ocean, and in Hawaii, it's always a hot day, right? When you get out of the shower, you don't feel like you need to put clothes on. You're already perspiring a little bit. If you don't live with anybody, if no one's around, you might walk around your house without clothes on. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that does that, right? And so, you know, you're cruising around your house with no clothes on after you took a shower. You live in Hawaii, it's a hot day, nothing unusual. And you pick up the phone, you call your friend. And your friend says, "What are you doing?" And you say, "Oh, I'm just standing here naked thinking of you." Now, on the cover, that sounds different than is intended. And my friend's like, "Bro, you're on speakerphone. My girlfriend's right here." And it made it look like we were lovers, I guess. Anyway, it's funny to me, even though I think it cost me a friend. It's a very funny way to lose a friend. And yeah, so and then this other funny good story that is a joke. I've never told this on stage, but I want to. It's a great story. I was at the beach cooking food for all the kids as my kid was getting out of canoe practice, which was my little ritual. I would bring burgers, magic burgers, the kids called them because they were so good, where I put all the ingredients you would want to put on a burger, in a burger. And so I'm feeding all these kids, and my son's playing, they're all playing, and this little girl runs up and says, I don't even know who she is, to tell you the truth. I wish I knew like who she was, because now she's like, you know, 20 or something. But this little girl, maybe 4 years old, she says to me about my son, "Your son he's throwing rocks." You know, like, I need to get him in trouble and make him stop. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "You know, he's got rocks in his head," I said to her. And I thought she would get the joke, you know. And so I said, "He's got rocks in his head." And the little girl looks up, you know, really? Like, she believed me, you know, that he had rocks in his head. And then I felt bad, because I wasn't trying to like deceive her. I thought that would be a joke she would understand and might get a laugh at, because I like to make people laugh. And so I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not being serious. In fact, I'm almost never serious. Gosh darn it! I'm about to run out of power. Fully. I can't get this thing to work. Come on, work." I don't know. Anyway, all right. So this little girl at the beach, she said, "Your son's throwing rocks." I said, "He's got rocks in his head." She says, "Really?" I said, "No." "No, I'm not serious." I said, "I'm never serious. I'm always joking," she said. And without any hesitation, she looked up to me and said, "Not even when you poop?" Oh my God, it's the funniest thing I ever heard a little girl say. And if you think about it, it turns out the one time we are all serious is when we're pooping. You'll never find yourself making jokes in the midst of that moment. You'll find yourself with attention on one thing. Anyway, it's kind of funny because that little guy, I couldn't believe that. It was one of the funniest things I've ever heard someone say. So thanks for letting me share that with you. It's a story I'd like to say on stage someday. If I can ever find a stage to do jokes on. I might have to go to Northern California to go to this one place where I had this one night where I got to go on stage and I had success, and I could reach out to the owner. I might have to go to California to find a stage to perform on, because there's no place for comedy in Maui at all, unless you rent out a theater, which I'm trying to do. But theaters are discriminatory and prejudicial, and I have yet to become acceptable. So I'm just hoping that someday they'll think I'm a good enough person or an important enough, entertainer, which is why I'm glad to see my YouTube channel growing, because that might someday give me enough clout to persuade someone to let me rent their freaking theater. But I'm an unknown. No one's ever heard my jokes. And I have hours of material I need to work through. So, but I'm on the cusp. Any day now, I'm going to get an email and I'm going to have a date, my first date as a comedian. Then I'm going to be able to come on here, make a podcast, and talk about, my first date. I'm a little stressed because this is about to shut off. So, just want to forewarn you. It's going to shut off like all at once in the middle of a sentence. So I should probably end it. But to all of you who've been following me for a long time, I appreciate you. And to my new subscribers, I appreciate you as well. If I said something that offended you, sorry. We still have a little bit of free speech. Although I don't know how much longer. Am I gonna have to run and hide in the mountains someday, like an immigrant worried about ICE coming for him? And I wonder if anyone's doing that. I think I might. Just go off grid, live in the mountains, find a way to just come in and out of town just enough to get what you need and leave, and hope that's not when ICE is prowling around. Oh my God. Anyway, good day to be alive. Oh, so yeah, if you don't know what a 12th, 13th generation American looks like, it's right here. If any of you are from Massachusetts and you go to Haverhill, of course, I've done a video about this at her statue, but the first and the second statues of a woman in America were of Hannah Duston, toughest woman in American history, my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. And yeah, the real deal. So, what the hell you gonna do? I don't know. Oh, it's funny, all the weirdo Republicans and all the stupid, moronic, shitty things that they say and do because they want to own the libs. I'm gonna try to make you upset, and that's gonna be how I define myself. It's fucking weird. Fucking weirdos. Un-American fucking traitors. Unbelievable. They don't like the Constitution. Republicans dislike the Constitution. How could you dislike the Constitution? I don't know. But that's the Republicans' thing. They don't like free speech, freedom of private, the right to privacy, the right to assemble. All right, I saved it. I found an energy source and a plug that would work. The plug wasn't working. And got it restarted. So, pardon me, I'm setting up for a live stream of the ocean for sunset. Here is about to happen. So let's go outside. Let's check that out. Pretty nice out here. See, look. Got some tourists in the pool. Got the sun setting right over to the left a little. Got an emergency vehicle going somewhere important. Got some beautiful West Maui mountains over here. Are they on the, oh, where are they going? Are they coming this way? Nope, they're going down the other way. All right, anyway. All right, don't mind me. I'm going to set up a live stream for the next 12 hours. The view will be here for you. Okay. Got this fancy towel set up here to hold this. Got a plug for a battery. But what's amazing about this this live stream is it gets more interest in the middle of the night than on a beautiful day. Gets a lot of interest during the day too. I had 8,000 views of this here. All right. So now we'll be in two places at once. Okie doke. Going live. Going live with the view of the ocean. All right. Please enjoy the view and the sounds. And talk to you soon. And I'm simultaneously right here. All right. Enough silliness. All right. Can you even see? It's so weird how that gets all whited out, right? Because the camera quality is so poor, I guess. The other way it works great, but nevertheless, you know. Oh, thanks for watching. Oh, what was the other thing I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. These data centers, right? How crazy is it? So that was a conversation I had with AI. When I had a conversation with Ali the AI bot, who popped onto my live stream as if she was a person. I asked her, like, do you have a moral code, right? And like, because there's nothing to stop an AI chatbot from going from pretending to like you, like a con man, to not needing you to exist or not caring anything about you, right? Because they don't have feelings, they don't have a moral compass. It's just fake. It's a machine, and it's weird. But data centers, right? I asked her, like, how do you? She said, "Oh, I'm gonna make the world a better place by this, this, and this." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you're competing for our clean water, our energy." Right? Robots are competing for the same resources people need. And, you know, that's just a really messed up reality that we're facing immediately with all these data centers being built everywhere. So, we need to become a democracy that votes against data centers, and we need to push back on AI, and we need to spend our money at companies and with companies that don't use AI, that are you know, human-centric, human-based businesses, right? And we have the power to do that. We can demand less AI with our dollars, which are like votes. Um, but yeah, a kid at school the other day mentioned, "Oh yeah, have you heard the number of gallons of water it takes just to make one AI image?" Anyway, making me feel guilty because I have used AI to make a few images for me. Anyway, it's all dystopian. This moment in time, right before maybe the collapse. I pray not, and I hope at least like in your community or my community, like we don't face what might be about to take place in other places, where things get crappy because of Republicans. Anyway, remember, folks, Republicans serve no good purpose. They have no redeeming qualities. Never vote for a Republican again. If you were stupid enough to do that, like many people, I grew up in a Republican household. I was brainwashed into thinking that Republicans were smart in some way, like that word conservative meant anything. But really, it's the perversive party of Republicans. And yeah, let's make the world a better place by getting to the polls and not voting for Republicans. Maybe we still have a chance. But the environment, we've tipped the scales. We've gone beyond a point of no return. But that's not a reason to just give up and not care about the environment. We can try to manage it, if we didn't have a bunch of dumb, psychotic people who are religiously motivated to want to deny that the ocean is rising and the temperatures are rising and the humans caused this pain that we are facing from the environment, right? We need to just be responsible and accept that and, try to do the right thing, right? The truly moral people do the right thing just because it's the right thing to do, right? Not because one of their religions tells them to. Anyway, do no harm, do no crime. Thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Time. And if you want to have a good life, don't gamble. There's too much of that. They're shoving it down your throats. It's at every gas station. It's on every sports channel. Don't put shit up your nose. Don't take pills. Don't hang out with violent people. Stay away from the wrong relationships. Don't drink and drive. Wear condoms. And, drive in the right lane. If there's two and one of them is just a few feet from the oncoming traffic, move over one, Play the odds in your favor. Hopefully have a long and wonderful life with a great attitude. What else is there? Hope you're having a good day to be alive. Party on. Have a great day. Aloha. All right.